The cross upon which Jesus died is a shelter in which we can hide, and its grace is so free, is sufficient for me, and deep is its fountain, as wide as the sea. There is room at the cross for you. There is room at the cross for you. Though millions have come, there's still room for one. Yes, there's room at the cross for you.
Hello to everyone and welcome to the Let There Be Light program. We are glad to be with you. It's Sunday morning, 8 a.m. and in a few moments' time, we're about to have our wonderful anticipated gathering, the re-encounter with God. You know that every Sunday we gather, but this one is special in particular, and this is why I already wanted to start the program talking about it, because it's the opportunity for you who have been feeling far, who have been feeling distant from God. And because of that, you've been feeling empty, lost, confused, without direction. And with all of those circumstances you are having, for sure, you've been making wrong choices and been hurting yourself. And you really want to find an answer, a way out, help for you. Well, be sure that there is. In all of our universal churches in Australia, we are going to be holding this very special gathering of the re-encounter with God. But before I speak more about this, I'd like to show you a testimony of someone who found God and their life was completely transformed. And right after that, we're going to speak more about this. And if you would like to give us a call now on 9602-9837. And there'll be a man of God ready to attend to you, help you, counsel you, and be with you with whatever you're going through at this moment to bless you. Okay? Let's watch this testimony and we'll be right back.
What's been keeping you up at night? Problems at work? Bad news? Arguments with your partner? Discouragement? We're available to talk to you right now. Call us 9602-9837.
Faith is like my companion, my best friend in this journey for God. That was one of the biggest things that I needed to do with God, which was trust in Him. And with that trust, my faith started coming along. Today, my life is a blessing. It is great because today I'm a happier person now. I'm more at peace with myself. Now I see that I am being fulfilled. I am being used by God every single day in everything that I do. I work, I'm succeeding at work. I've got job opportunities that are coming up at work, and my manager is actually coming at me to tell me, listen, we have this opportunity for you. We want to get you one of this. It's perfect, it's great, not just at work, but also at home with the people around me. What I give to them, I'm now able to give them something. It has been 2 years since I've been in the presence of God. I can see truly that first, it was my relationship with my family. That was the first thing, because I used to be a big complainer and I didn't realize. And then when I started to walk with God, He started to show me, like, listen, Inish, you complain too much about these things. But when you have this presence, you're able to, be able to have a good relationship with those around you. I'm able to communicate more with my dad because I had held a grudge against my dad from a young age, but when I started to walk in the presence of God, I understood that forgiving was the main thing that I needed to do. And today, I have the vision. God has given me the vision. He's shown me where I need to be. He showed me what I need to do. Being able to learn how to use my faith was one of the greatest things, because obviously coming through the services, it's been able to show me how I can use my faith. There's nothing impossible with God. Anything is possible. So with that, I use my faith. So at work, when I want to conquer something as well, I go ahead, I use my faith. And because I know that I'm using my faith, of course, I know I'm not going to see it in the next day, but I have the assurance inside of me that it is going to happen, because I know that it is His word which stands, and I know I will do it, and I will achieve it, and I will overcome. My life before was meaningless. Since a young age, I saw, my dad being quite abusive towards my mom, and that kind of painted a picture for me how men were going to be. So growing up, I said to myself, I'm not going to allow any men to treat me like this, how my dad treated my mom. So what I did as growing up, I went into a relationship, and in that relationship, I was already like an independent woman. I was determined. So I was very kind of like strong-headed. No, I'm not going to allow you to do this to me. I'm the one that's in charge. I'm the one that's going to lead. But obviously going down the road, that never worked out. Inside of me, I was very bitter. I would see things and I'll be like, oh, who does this person think this is? And all that bitterness came all the way from the root of starting at home, the issues going on at home, my dad taking us away from my mom as kids as well, and also troubles as well in school, like friendships. I was always like the odd one out because my parents didn't allow me to, go outside, go with the friends. They were like, no, you have to stay at home. And I was always like, why do I have to stay at home? So in that, it also grew like a little anger, because my friends are able to do this. Every time Monday comes, everyone's able to speak about what they did on the weekend. But my weekend was like, no, I had to stay home because my parents told me to stay home. So I had that also accomplishment in the sense of, I need to do this when I grow up. No one can tell me, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. I would see men as they can't love a woman, because in my family, I always see like my uncles having women talking about women like it was nothing. And then I will see my aunties, even my mom as well, being hurt by that. Women are just here, just a product for men to be used. That's how I literally saw men. But because I had that gap inside of me, because growing up, my dad had left eventually, I didn't have the love of a father. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to have the love of that from a man outside, even though I had the picture of, no, men can't love women, but I know I still needed that. I still wanted the attention. And because of that, that led me to also having panic attacks. The panic attacks started happening when I was studying in Spain. I was by myself, and I thought to myself, okay, my boyfriend at the time, he's not here, he's somewhere else. I don't have control, so I don't know what he's doing. In that moment, it's like, no, something's gonna happen. So because of that, I had panic attacks. That's when I realized, and I said to myself, okay, there's something wrong with me. So I actually had to reflect on myself at that moment. I'll never forget this day when I had the panic attack. And it was something that I shut myself. I didn't even speak to my family about it. I knew they were attending church. The first thing that they would tell me is, you need to come back to God. And I knew I needed to come back to God, but I wanted to have control over my life, because even the way I had the perspective of, oh no, God is this way, I didn't even want to approach, because I saw God in a way of, if I give my life to God, my life with God will be boring. So that's what I had as well, that picture of God. My situation was at this point where I didn't know what to do with myself anymore. I was empty, I was broken. My family, who actually goes to the church, they invited me to one of the services. My mom, she said, come to one of the services. And I actually went to one of the services along with her. At this moment, I had to make a decision, either continue living in a broken life or in the presence of God. So that's when I started coming back. I started to attend the services. I started to pay attention to the word and actually add it. So as I would hear it, I would go home and I would actually apply it in my life. The Universal Church for me is a spiritual mother, because when I came back, the arms of God was wide open for me. Before I be judged, I was accepted with open arms. I came back and it was like, I'm home. I could literally feel my soul was at peace. I was able to put my head in my pillow and go to sleep properly. And to be universal is to help others, is to serve others. And because this is what God has shown through Universal Church, God has shown now. As I receive the help, as I receive the peace, I'm also going to give that peace also to other people. So now I help in the VYG, got soup banks as well. Those who are broken, who come and say, I need help, I'm there, ready to help them, ready to take them out, literally to grab their hand and say, come, I know a place for you. The Universal Church is what you need. And truly, it is what they need. If you are with God, nothing's impossible. So now I am happy, I am at peace, I am full of the Holy Spirit because God has given me that. He sealed me. He said, no, I am with you. And since that day, I never stopped. And I'll never stop. I'm going to go until the end.
Our heart can be very deceitful. And when it wants something, it won't even listen to the advice of family or even our closest loved ones. This is how dangerous it is when we follow our heart. I don't want to be cynical or negative or the antagonist, but the Bible does say that our heart is deceitful above all things, including the devil. So we have to be very careful with what it dictates, with what it commands, because our heart is like that. When it wants, it will do whatever it takes to get it. And that's very dangerous because not everything our heart desires is right. Not everything our heart wants is good for us. It may be pleasurable, comforting, but that doesn't mean it's good or healthy. And there was an instance where a young man said to his father, Father, give me all the goods that belong to me, my inheritance, because I want it early in life so I can leave you, leave the family. I want to live my life and enjoy it. He ended up leaving, and unfortunately, he spent all that he had on prostitution, promiscuity, and that prodigal lifestyle. And now you understand that we're talking about the prodigal son, the very famous parable. And as he was spending and losing everything, it came to the point that he lost literally everything that his father gave him. Interesting, isn't it? The father gave him. But he lost it all. And he was happy to eat from pigs' food. He would be with them, walk with them, and eat with them because he had no other choice. And the Bible says like this, that young man said, it says that when he came to himself, that's a very deep statement. When he came to himself, he said, how many of my father's hired servants have bread enough and to spare, and I perish with hunger? He came to himself and he realized, I've been far from my dad. I'm only getting more miserable. I'm starving. And it's true, I lost everything. I lost everything. And look at the reasoning that he concluded with. I will arise and I'll go to my father, and I will say to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants. And he arose and came to his father. But when he was still a great way off, his father saw him and had compassion and ran and fell on him, his neck, and kissed him. What a wonderful ending. I mean, it doesn't actually end there, but what a wonderful breakthrough for that son. He realized he's been far from his father. And by being far, he suffered, but he decided, I'm coming back. And when he came back, he stopped the suffering. He received the mercy and compassion. I believe that this story touches all of us, me included, but especially you who have been far from the Father and you are in pain, but you're willing. You're willing to come back to Him. Today is the opportunity for you to come back and have the Father fall on you, fall on your neck, kiss you, and welcome you back into His presence. Not judging, not pointing fingers at you, but happy that you were lost, but now are found. Happy that you were dead, but made alive again. It says like this, the Father said to his servants, bring out the best robe and put it on him, a ring on his hand, sandals on his feet. Bring the fatted calf here, kill it, and let us be merry. For this was my son that was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found. And they began to be merry. The Sunday of Re-Encounter is for all those who want to come back to know their Father. And the Father will receive you with celebrations and be merry. This is an opportunity that none of you should miss. Are you in pain? Do you really need God's help? Come to Him. This is your opportunity. I wouldn't even say invitation. It's your opportunity to get your life back on track. If you want to join us, you can come at 153 Northumberland Street, Liverpool. That's our headquarters where we are located. And the service starts in almost in an hour and a few minutes. If you want to join the nearest UCKG next to you, quickly go on our website before it's too late and see there uckg.org.au, and you can find the nearest UCKG to you. We come to the end of this program on Sunday, and we will see you real soon in the church. May God bless all of you, and until next time.